Take it away. Thank you, sir. And you know, the proper thing is to applaud when someone's introduced. And that comes from my Toastmasters experience, and I'll talk about that a little bit today. And really, what I want to do today is not have a typical class session. In other words, I'm not here to lecture you, okay? I'm here to talk with you. Are we recording yet? Yes. Okay. So I'm here to talk with you about your career goals, and really your first goal is to graduate from this fine institution, right? So we've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15 future graduates of Cal State San Marcos. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. And everybody raise your hand if you have a form in front of you. Okay. I'd love to hear each and every one of you give me personal feedback on the presentation today. Okay? And I'm going to involve you. So I know it's U-hour. There's a lot of traffic out there, people on the go. I know it's kind of lunch hour downtime, but I want you to interact with not only myself, but with your classmates, okay? Raise your hand if you've had Business 300. Business 300, keep your hand up. Because I might pick on you and make this interactive and me do it. Keep your hand up if you've had Business 300. If you haven't, you're gonna get a preview. And so the gentleman who introduced me, your name again?
Robert.
Robert, who is your instructor?
I'm drawing a blank on her name.
See, I put students on the spot because I've taught Business 300 8 times, and
It's the British woman.
Fiona Carlsberg?
Thank you.
if you don't remember me, I'm personally offended. So hopefully you'll remember me from this brief visit today, one time all semester. I want to make this information today that valuable to you. When people ask you who presented the first week of Marketing Society, it was Moneyman. Okay, but again, more importantly, hopefully my life lessons will impact you in a way where you'll remember this advice years from now, decades from now. I mean, that's really my goal, because you're here to succeed. Is anybody here like just for fun, like just to audit classes? You're already independently wealthy?
No.
Okay. Okay. Is anybody like a trust fund baby? Okay. If so, we need to talk for real as a wealth manager. But I'm here as an instructor today, and we're going to do an exercise. If you've been in Business 300, you've probably done this. And who else was in Business 300? Right there. And your name?
Noah.
Noah. Who was your instructor?
Eric.
My friend Erica. I know she does elevator pitches, right?
She does.
Right? I do them 3 times during the semester. So you will stand up today, and you will introduce yourself. And can I get a volunteer, not Milani, because she's already been up here, to be my scribe just during the elevator pitches? Layla, you invited me, so I'm gonna pick on you. So come on up. And what I'd like to know is, let's put it over here. So as you introduce yourselves and tell us your current career goal,
Okay.
I want to speak to those goals today.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to know what they are. And if you don't have one, it's okay. Okay, I'm not here to criticize, condemn, critique, grade. Definitely I'm here to grade you, right? I'm here to encourage you and hopefully to inspire you, okay? And show you how to achieve those goals. Does that make sense? Okay, so Layla, would you scribe as we do the elevator pitches?
Yeah.
And I'll do mine first just to give you an example. Fair enough? Okay, so you're gonna say your full name, if it's unique like mine, how it's pronounced. If you have a nickname, I'd love to hear it. If I like you, you get one. Right, Money Mel?
Yes,
I'm
sir.
picking on you again, right? So I love giving out nicknames. Where you're from, like born and raised, I'd like to know. That's always interesting and also connects people if we're from the same place. And then I'd like to hear your career goal. And if it's general, it's okay. I just don't need a long description. Okay? So an elevator pitch or an introduction should be under 30 seconds with only 3 items. It should be like 21 seconds. Okay? Which happens to be my lucky number, 21. And I'm not even a blackjack player, so maybe I should be. Okay, so may I begin? My name is Dimitris Magemeneas. People call me Money Man. That's because I manage clients' money and I teach students about money. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I wore Air Jordans for real, like playing basketball, not just for show. And my career goal I guess, is to launch a brand new financial education company. Okay, so no matter your age and my advanced age, you should always have goals in front of you. I can tell you I've got clients in their 80s and 90s, and they have goals, and not just financial ones. Okay, so let's go over here, and when you speak, stand up and give your elevator pitch.
Hi, my name is Sarah Flores. I'm from Chino, California. My current career goal is a marketing internship and then to go into a marketing social media position.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Marketing intern. Next.
Hello everybody, my name is Christian Rodriguez. I'm originally from Temecula, California. I live in Baltimore at the moment, and my career goal is to break into the sports industry, work for a professional sports team because I played basketball growing up.
Awesome. We've got that in common. So let's put pro sports. Next.
Okay, my name is Noah Tovar. My full name is Noah Sultana Kanalu Tovar. I'm originally from Nanakuli, Hawaii. My career goals, I would eventually like to work for the UFC as a market analyst.
That's pretty specific. Well
Yeah.
done. So UFC marketing analyst. Next.
Hi, I'm Gia Poston, and I live in Temecula, California. My career goal is to have a marketing internship as well as doing a nonprofit global internship as well on the side because my dream goal is to start an orphanage or work in one as well.
Awesome. Thank you, Gia. And another marketing intern. We can write it down again. That's fine. And your name seems familiar. Are we connected on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Good job. Next.
Hi, my name is Robert Bolt. I'm originally from Torrance, California. My career goal is one day to go work in the marketing department at Apple.
Okay. Also very specific. So would you write down, Layla, Apple marketing? Okay, next.
Hi guys, my name is Jubilee Castro and I'm from the Inland Empire, California. My career goal would be to learn more about brand and fashion marketing.
Okay. So she's going into fashion marketing. And I'm sorry, your first name again?
Jubilee?
Jubilee. What an awesome name, Jubilee. So you have to be jubilant, right? You like my first name's Dimitris, so I have to be unique, right? But you have to be jubilant. Next.
Hi, my name is Jessica Torres and I'm here from San Marcos, and my career goal is to know more about marketing and having internship.
Okay, let's put down marketing intern again. That's okay. Write it down again. This repetition is the key. Thank you. Next.
Hi guys, my name is Ethan Salvaboro. I'm from Temecula, California, and my career goal is to at least own multiple businesses.
Okay. Own multiple businesses. And let's go across. How about right here?
Hi guys, my name is Nicholas Milez. I'm from Central California. Some of my career goals include having a marketing internship as well as working in the marketing division for Nike.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's put Nike marketing for Nicholas.
Yes.
Thank you. Next.
Hey, good morning everyone. My name is Jesus Arroyo. I was actually born and raised in Mexico. I came here in 6th grade, and my career goals it's to become a social media manager or data analytics.
I'm sorry, what was the career
Data
goal?
analytics.
Data analytics.
Yeah.
Okay. And your first name again?
Jesus.
Jesus, thank you. And let's go right here.
My name is Domingo. I am from Escondido. My career goal is to either start a business and use the marketing skills learned here to promote my business or to work in the startup.
Migo, M-I-G-O?
Domingo.
Domingo,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay. And you wanted to start a business?
Yeah.
Okay. And we got that, Layla? Okay, next.
Hi, I'm Jacob Hadelstad. I'm from Escondido, California, and my career goal is to do management in biotech.
Okay, so let's put biotech management. Next.
Hi, I'm Brianna Duprell and I'm from Sacramento, and I don't exactly have a goal yet, but maybe like a marketing internship or
Okay, that's a good one. Next.
Good afternoon, my name is Ashley Gamis. I am from Escondido, and currently what my goal is to eventually enter the event marketing industry and then later on make an event planning company.
Great. Event marketing. Layla, if you would hand me the marker and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Layla. I'm from San Marcos, and my career goal is to work in biotech as well. specifically in events coordination and like the medical equipment field.
So, would you say biotech marketing? Thank you. You're dismissed. Thank you for volunteering. And last, and certainly not least, Milani, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the marketing internship that you won?
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Milani. I also go by Money Mel. I'm Dimitris Magemeneas, Moneyman's executive assistant. Right now I work as his marketing intern, where we market his future financial workshops that are free and teach financial literacy. My long-term career goal is to work as a CFO at a research facility, specifically a neuro research facility. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give everybody a big hand. And networking is key, and that's why we have you in Business 300 as kind of the first thing. We do this the first class session in my course. Get comfortable with introducing yourself to people like, you never know who you're going to run into in a classroom, like Coach Miguel de Jesus. Thank you, Coach, for being here today. If you don't know Coach Miguel, you should introduce yourself after class if he doesn't sneak out, which he does sometimes. But thank you for being here, okay? So if you fall asleep the rest of this hour, and how long do I have?
Technically till 12:50,
Okay.
but you don't really have much to pack up, so we can squeeze it a little bit closer.
Okay, we'll see how you interact, okay? Because again, what I want to do is give you some life lessons through my life stories, okay? And so I've prepared some of these stories in advance, but I'm happy to talk about other things that are applicable to you and your goals. Make sense? Okay? And when I talk about life lessons, I'm not talking about relationship advice or career advice or marital advice or child rearing advice or health, although as a financial advisor, wealth manager now, it seems like I tend to give a lot of advice out there. But for purpose of this brief time together, I'm going to talk about life lessons for your career, okay? And I'm going to tell you some lessons from my own career. Okay, make sense? Okay, so if you take nothing else away from this class and you remember this 10 years from now, I'm going to give you 2 words. Okay, you don't even have to write them down. Okay, I want you to think about these 2 words as we interact today in terms of what you're trying to achieve, not only in your careers, but also right now, in your classes, in your group here, in your outside pursuits, okay? Because what's true, and what I've seen from 4 decades of working, it's absolutely true that sometimes in life you have to promote yourself, okay? So I want you to think about that. And get ready to do that. Because the reality is, nobody can promote yourself like you can promote yourself, okay? If you're sitting on your hands waiting for somebody like me, a supervisor, to promote you, it might happen, right, Miguel? I mean, I've worked at corporations before I started my own business, and sometimes they'll promote you. And you know what? That's a good thing because it demonstrates that you're responsible, reliable, you get stuff done, okay? But it doesn't always come with a race. And many times in my career, which you'll hear about, I had to promote myself by leaving a company, okay? And I could tell you, and I have situations right now, I have one this morning with a good friend of mine who needed to quit his job like more than a few years ago, okay? I think he's finally going to, okay? But you're in college to learn and to build your skills, and not only your business skills and your marketing skills, but your people skills, right? Your emotional intelligence. There, Coach Miguel, I used it, okay? And hopefully you'll hear one of his sessions. And you are responsible for your career, okay? Not your parents, not your professors, definitely not your bosses, okay? You are responsible for your careers. And what happened to me was, and I'll launch into my first story in a moment, okay? Because teeing that up, let me ask you one more question, because I think 35 minutes is pretty good. But raise your hand if there's something, now that I've kind of explained the context of my talk, who has questions about their career or what I've learned in my career that you would very much want me to address in today's session? Anybody have something like that? Because I will answer questions you didn't know you had, Domingo. Trust me, I will, okay? Yes?
What internships do you take?
Internships. So, how to achieve an internship, okay? Because I'm not hiring you this semester, I'm sorry. I had one internship, and actually I created another one for Money Mel, okay? But I have a lot of friends that offer internships, right? But you have to know how to market yourself, and this is the marketing society, right? So you should be better than anybody at marketing yourself. Yes, is it Nicholas?
Yes, yeah. How competitive is the job market for marketing?
I'm going to answer that really briefly right now. We'll get into it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how competitive the job market is if you're competitive. I see you. Yes.
This kind of goes along with what I think you're going to talk about, but what advice would you have for someone who's looking to go from like a starting job in their field to like maybe the next step, so like a mid-level job in their field? Like advice on how to do that, or you know, just tips or tricks to navigate that process.
Did I capture that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Milani.
What if you find yourself working in one field but having passion for a different field?
I've done that once or twice or 3 times, so it's almost like your check's in the mail too, right? Because I'll definitely talk about that. Yes, sir.
It goes related to the ones you just asked, but I was just wondering, so when you first graduate and everything and you get a job, your first offer, when is it the right time to actually go into the job that you actually like enjoy doing, or dream job, you could say that?
Good. And your name again, sir? Jesus. Perfect segue to my opening quotes, okay? Not something I came up with, but something that resonated with me when I was studying business, and I was in my very first semester at University of San Diego, and I wanted to be a CEO. My parents are business owners, worked all the time. Being a business owner at that point in my life had no interest to me. I wanted a comfortable, secure position that would ultimately lead to running the organization, okay? And I'm in my early 30s at University of San Diego, and people think I'm a professor even way back then, okay? Because I was an older student. In my very first class, Organizational Dynamics, Dr. Phil Hunsaker, my research paper, and it was sparkling. I'm going to tell you, it was really good. But besides the grade, it really caused a mind shift for me, okay? Hopefully this is a mind shift for you today, or it will be, okay? And I did this research paper on the DNA of a CEO. What does it take to become a CEO, right? If you want to become something, well, just put in a ChatGPT this year, right? Like, how do I become a CEO? I'd be interested in that answer, right? Because I'm using ChatGPT, and I'm sure you are too. And so I came across this quote at the time I was writing a paper teaching myself how to become a CEO. And the quote goes, find something you love to do, and you'll never work another day in your life. And that's what I wanted to do. That sounded pretty cool, okay? So by that point in my life, pretty well established, right? Married, kids, mortgage, house. I feel like I had accomplished everything like I set out to do, really, from the son of immigrants standpoint, okay? But there was something missing, right? And so I really set out a goal to find something I love to do so that it'll never feel like work again. It took me a few years, and now I've been there for a lot of years. I enjoy coming in today and speaking to you. This is not work for me, okay? So does that resonate with any of you? Is that a good kind of criteria for the next thing you're gonna do, maybe after graduation? What do you all think?
I hope so.
You hope so? Anybody trying to make a career out of something they just really enjoy? Like, it's like the thing you'd be doing even if you weren't getting paid?
Yeah, like I said, to work for the UFC. I just kind of grew up around MMA. I did jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, so it's just
Awesome.
like, that's kind of my passion, and to work in something like that would be amazing.
Okay, so you're tying in something you enjoy and you're interested in UFC with maybe something that you'll be good at, learning about business, so they'll hire you, right? So you'll be able to work in an industry that has personal relevance to you. Thank you. Layla.
I think the same thing goes for me. I interned at a company where I did mostly copywriting for medical equipment. But after working with the events team, I realized that I really did enjoy working with them more, and I found myself always volunteering and being like, if you guys need any help, I'm more than happy to do that, which I didn't have to do, but I realized seeing them working and what they did, that kind of inspired me and made me want to.
So Layla hits on a good point here without even realizing it, right? So at your stage in life, do we have anybody, I don't know if I'm allowed to ask, but do we have anybody here over 30? Besides Coach Miguel? Twice over, and I'm picking on you. I'm almost there too, okay? But Layla talked about doing something that she realized she enjoyed, right? And so especially in your 20s, maybe in your 30s, it's okay to try out careers to see if they fit, okay? And process of elimination is okay too. I discovered at one point, I knew I didn't want to be an engineer anymore, right? And so I went back and I got my master's in business administration. And then I also figured out after I graduated and got a new position, I didn't want to be a financial analyst anymore either. I thought maybe that'd be something I'd enjoy. It wasn't, okay? So that's okay, especially in your early career, okay? And again, that's a good segue to this, okay? And if you haven't been in Business 300 yet, this is a slide from that course. And it's thinking about a career choice that's best for you, okay? And yeah, so for me, it was easy to do something I love because I was already pretty well established at that point, okay? But if you're not good at it, right, okay? So Coach Miguel, I want to play in the NBA, okay? So, I love playing basketball. Where's my other basketball player, right? And I think it pays pretty well, right? But especially at my age, I won't say, that's just a dream, okay? So you're here to build skills and to, also do something for the UFC that you're good at, that hopefully they will pay you well for, okay? Because, and I've seen this too, do something you love and something you're good at, well, it might not be in an industry that pays very well. Who wanted to work in social work? Who said that about starting their own orphanage?
Oh.
Right, Gia? Great! I mean, changing the world for those kids. I mean, that's awesome. I hope you could do that, right? But you're not gonna get rich doing that, okay? That's the reality. And you already know that, right? And that's not what drives you. But really what you wanna think about as you're trying on careers is look for the win, okay? Can anybody tell I'm kind of a competitive person? Okay, you've got to compete in your career. And we have somebody new come in, didn't do her elevator pitch. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Can we get our feedback form?
Yeah.
I won't embarrass you unless you want me to.
That's okay.
Okay. Do you have a career goal in mind?
I'm interested in real estate or any type of marketing.
I'm glad I asked you. And do you have a name?
Zoe.
Oh, That was a yes or no question. I'm just kidding. So Zoe, sorry, I kind of picked on her because she was late, but again, this is an interactive exercise, so I encourage questions and feedback. And you have a feedback form, which will be entered into a drawing for what I think is an amazing book, but whoever wins it, there's a win again. You can give me feedback later. Okay, so again, when you go into your career, hopefully it's all three of those, but you don't know. So here was my situation, way back when, yeah, I'm gonna age myself a little bit, but in 2006, I was working as a senior financial analyst for a major multinational corporation, Sony, getting paid really well, pretty easy position, I must admit, and I was bored to tears, okay? And I didn't want to do that anymore. And so that was 2 years after I received my MBA degree. I really, and still do, enjoy finance and marketing. See the connection here in the societies, right? So I'll speak to both this semester. And I couldn't decide between the two, so I didn't. I just did a dual emphasis, okay? And so now that I realized that I didn't like that position anymore, I was not designed, and this is my 30s, I'm 35, at the time. I don't want to sit in front of a computer all day and do spreadsheets, and then go to business review meetings for 3 hours, and basically just create the presentations at that time. Believe it or not, MoneyMan was not in front of an audience. I was expected to create the PowerPoints and the spreadsheets, get all the information, help all the executives, and then be quiet in those meetings. Can you imagine me trying to be quiet? Okay, was that a good fit for me?
No.
I don't think that was a good fit for me. So my biggest challenge in those business review meetings was staying awake. Okay, like any of you have trouble staying awake during classes? Don't answer that question. Okay, I get it. Okay, I got a good reason. I get it. I don't want to be like that, right? And so what I did is I just started brainstorming. Like, what do I think with now 15 years of experience working, what do I think I might like to do with my MBA degree? And I encourage you to do the same thing, right? And we didn't have ChatGPT. We didn't have Google. I guess Google was invented, but we weren't really using it. I was just kind of brainstorming with friends and loved ones, right? And really just my own reading. And I came up with a top 10 list. And this is actually in the order that I wrote down that list way back when. And I didn't have the benefit of career leader. Who can explain what career leader is? If you've had Business 300. My basketball player, what's your name again?
Christian.
Christian.
Yes.
Do you remember the career leader?
I do not remember the career leader part of it.
Yes.
It's like a quiz. Sorry. It's like quizzes to like help you determine like your strengths and your weaknesses and much more. And like what field you'd be best at.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Do you remember, I'm putting you on the spot now,
That's fine.
the career match in the career leader? Do you remember maybe what was in your top few?
Well, what I want to do like with social media marketing for like the beauty industry and fashion industry is like
It was up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a win, right? Like we didn't have that way. I did take a personality test, and I'm an ENTJ, extroverted, intuitive, judgmental thinker, right? And so somehow I remember that. I passed that class or whatever. But anyway, so I kind of tied that in, that personality, with potential new careers for me, okay? And so I was pretty sure I was going to become a financial advisor, and I did in 2007. I went from an engineer, got an MBA degree, financial analyst for a couple of years, bored to tears, became a financial advisor ever since, okay? But look at all these marketing positions. So, one thing I discovered is all the cool people are in marketing, okay? And yeah, I'm flattering my audience a little bit, but it's true, right? But what I also discovered about marketing when I was a cynical engineer taking business classes is marketing can be very strategic. Marketing is not advertising. Marketing is figuring out what the opportunity is in the industry, what your strengths and weaknesses, maybe opportunities and threats, right, are with your company, and providing ideas and then strategies on how to capitalize on that. okay? And I'm still doing that to this day. I'm still doing marketing, even though I'm a money man, financial guru. I love marketing. When I do senior experience, I've done 15 projects. We still need a couple? You're good, all right, so celebrate, right? So I signed up to do marketing as the faculty advisor, okay? So what I didn't realize becoming a financial advisor is I thought about becoming a marketing manager, a business development manager, a product manager, even a professor, but I've been doing all those investment analysts. I analyze investments. I'd be doing that even if I wasn't a wealth manager, okay? So basically, I achieved just about all of my career ideas during the course of the past few years after receiving my business degree. And so can you. Okay, right now, you're entering your career after graduation with a blank whiteboard. I mean, you can design anything you want in your career, okay? And it's interesting that I had hedge fund manager. Does anybody know what a hedge fund is besides Coach? It's like the most lucrative business model in the financial services industry, okay? And if you know what I'm talking about when I say business model, that's a huge takeaway from your business school learnings. Understand what a business model is. Google it, chat GPT it, whatever, but understand how to evaluate business models, okay? So basically, if I'm a hedge fund manager, you're my trust fund baby, right? You got $1 million, give me $1 million. Okay, and give me your name? Ethan. So Ethan gave me $1 million. I'm gonna manage that money. I'm gonna charge him 2% per year. And if I make a profit, I'm gonna charge you 20%. Okay? So the first year I made you $100,000, I keep $20,000. And I'm charging $20,000 a year no matter what. That's what a hedge fund manager does. Okay? You might want to look into it if you're into finances. But basically, this last year, I started my own portfolio that's kind of like a hedge fund. Okay? Knowing about business models, knowing about what my market is looking for, what my wealthy clients are looking for, and it's basically a hedge fund to protect downside and generate more interest. Okay? And I'm able to do that in my day-to-day. Okay? And I only charge 1%. And I don't keep any of the profits, and that's not a play. But again, just understanding business models, okay? I had book author on this list. I had to go back to it. I didn't really think that I'd ever write a book, but I still have several in my brain to write. And I came to this fine institution, and my first coach in my Business 300 class, you'll have a coach assigned to you, Charlie Martin, ThinkChange.co, had his own book. And then I met other colleagues that had their own books. And then I thought, well, if they could do it, I could do it. Okay? So, hang around with, interact with the people that have done what you want to do, especially young age. They will help you. I promise you that. Okay? I started up a business. Actually, I went independent. I was with a big company for 10 years. I went independent with another company, and this company, Kingsview, pays my business. So I started up a business as a corporation for some tax benefits. Okay. And then the only thing I haven't done is spent money to purchase a business, which I kind of have a feeling might be in my future now, because I like to, complete lists and have goals. Okay. Questions so far? Okay. So I'm going to look at my stories. I'm going to look at your list. And how do you advance from your current job? Let me talk about that. Now, I'm going to start from the beginning. So I think the order here is important. So there's my career background. If you're in my Business 300 class or another course, you would see that. But let me start with how I became a teacher, because I think that's interesting, because I'm here teaching. Okay, I became a teacher kind of by accident. What I mean by that is as a very heavily involved, but not helicopter parent, and with a flexible work schedule, I was able to go down to junior achievement in San Diego when my daughter Callista was in 5th grade, so that was 2012. And has anybody been in a junior achievement class? Anybody? We're gonna start doing them on campus more and more, aren't we, Coach, right? So we started last summer, and we're gonna continue next summer. And so I was so impressed with junior achievement. I was just blown away. Teaching students kindergarten through 12th grade how to own their own economic success. And I just really wanted to be involved with that organization, and I was as a volunteer. Okay, so they didn't pay me. I went in the classroom. I taught personal finance and career success. And look at me now, all these years later, and I'm teaching personal finance and career success, and I'm getting paid for it. I mean, how cool is that? And, you know, it might have been a happy accident. It might have been the universe putting me in the right direction. It might have been God speaking to me through other people. Who knows, right? I mean, the reason doesn't really matter. It's for you keeping yourself open to new possibilities, okay? We have an expression in my business network that I was in for many years. Every meeting we would say, giver's gain. And I have found that to be true in my own life. And don't get me wrong, you know, I was the son of immigrants again. I mean, barely could pay my bills in college. I've been there, okay? I will confide in you, and I know we're recording this and it's fine. When I was a successful financial advisor for 10 years with a major company that's well known, and I was a partner in the firm, for 7 of those years, I didn't make enough to pay my bills. 7 of those years. So the first 5 building a business, until I got to, you know, exceed my previous income. And then the last 2 years, nobody wanted to pay commission anymore. The business model changed in my industry. And so I changed my career, okay? So I've been there, but I always encourage students, if you can't find that internship, right? Or you want to work for the UFC or for Apple, or for something more specific. Well, talk to people that are doing that, first of all, right? But then volunteer for the skills that you want to develop. There are organizations that will let you do it. So I ended up in the classroom, and is anybody in that class? That was Mission Hills High School like 7 years ago. Layla?
Mission Hills, yeah.
Were you in one of my classes?
I don't think so.
Okay, it was just like, it was an avid class. Okay, but Layla went to Mission Hills. And let me tell you something, kind of as Layla talked about before, I discovered that I enjoyed teaching so much. Like, I would have never known that until I got in the classroom with these great students, and I came to campus, and I get to interact with great students like yourselves. I have no idea. I'm just a business person that was trying to give back. Okay, so you might want to know how I became Money Man. It's kind of a funny story, and it has a point to it. But you can see I was wearing green even back then. Okay, and what do I have for a picture for Money Man? Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, pretty obnoxious, I know. So I wore that shirt to the gym this morning, by the way. It always gets looks. So the way I became Money Man is young people have such great ideas. All of you have ideas percolating out there. I know you do, because I've witnessed this in my life. Okay, when I was at Junior Achievement, and I was volunteering at U.S. Bank, because I was, you know, the financial expert, and my name tag there said Dimitris, Magemeneas there, the green badge, and one of the 5th graders said, I can't pronounce your last name. Mr. Mago, what? Mago, I can't say it. 5th grader. And the 5th grader said, I'm just gonna call you Mr. Moneyman. Okay? Yeah, and I've been rolling with it since 2012. Okay? So let me ask you a question. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? Okay? Shortly after I graduated, so you know I graduated from USD MBA many years ago. They brought me back to guest speak before I was a teacher. And they just wanted to hear about a project I was working on at that company, Sony. And we actually were working on a project that eventually became some intellectual property for that company. And actually I hired an intern to help with this project. And I'm speaking to this class of graduate students, like I'm speaking to this class today, and one of the students raises their hands and says, why don't you patent that idea? I can't even say it, patent, right? So Sony had a lot of them, has a lot of them, right? And I told the student, I should have brought that with, but the point is, it was a student's idea, not my idea as the professional. And I said, that's a good idea. Let me go back and see it. And I was issued a patent along with the intern. I put his name first because he did all the work. Okay? So you want to be a marketing intern? You can learn a lot if you work for Apple, if you work really for any company at this stage in your career. And so I continue to be Money Man because of great students like yourselves and these students, where I sponsored them to create that website. And at the same time, I wrote a book. And I saw these students working so hard, it inspired me to work really hard. So yeah, it continues to this day. This was at the Kingsview conference this past year. Not only do I have a nickname at my company also, but our chief investment officer, Scotty Martin, a friend of mine in Chicago, he runs all of our investment portfolios. You see his belt?
Yeah.
He said, Money Man, I wore that just for you. And I said, okay, Scotty Markets. And it's important to have fun at work, right? And not just be so serious all the time, okay? Cue the red cloud nose, right? And so you gotta have fun at work, otherwise, why are we working? So let me tell you about, let me answer a couple of these questions about changing fields and how to enter a field you enjoy. I had an idea to become a financial advisor in 1999, okay? Probably before a lot of you were born, come to think of it, right? But I had this idea in 1999. And this picture was 10 years ago, 2013, my kiddos, Callista and Dominic. And so I was at that company for 10 years as a financial advisor. But people will tell you that you can't do something because they don't have the guts to do it. You with me? Okay? I'm not going to ask you to raise your hands, but I bet you, I'll pull out $100. I'm sure of this, right? I bet you there's at least one person in this room being told, why are you wasting all that money at college, right? Or why are you going to that school? Or why are you studying that field? I know it's true, right? Not for all of you, but for some of you. So I got it into my heart to become a financial advisor in 1999. Okay, I didn't do it. I didn't have the guts to do it. I admit it, to 2007 because I was comfortable. Okay, but you will be faced with in your career, you've got to promote yourself because everybody's just in it for themselves. And I've said that, and I've gone on record as saying that companies don't care about people, people care about people, right? And so I was doing a great job for that other company, but I wanted to do something else. Well, there's no financial advisor jobs at Sony, okay? So I had to promote myself. And I will confide in you also, in 1999 when I first had this idea, and I was at a family gathering, I remember it specifically, and I mentioned this idea, and certain family members laughed at me. I'm not even kidding you. They laughed at me, okay? You'll deal with this, okay? I became a financial advisor. I almost failed my first year. Didn't know what the heck. Frankly, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Okay, I had no idea. I never worked in sales. This is a sales position, really. I'm pretty good at finance and investments and things, but you had to sell people to buy investments. And one of the first people I called, he was one of my mentors at Sony. His name I won't mention, but I could hear his voice. Okay, I called him up. I thought he'd be one of my first clients. And this is the person, he had been one of my supervisors, right? I promoted myself. He didn't promote me. And he said to me, let me get this straight. You've got a wife, 2 kids, a mortgage, and no sales experience, and you're going to be a financial advisor. And he laughed at me. Okay? He laughed at me. But you know what? For me, and not to offend anybody, I had faith, right? I started going to church every week because I thought it was good for my kiddos and my family. It was really good for me. Okay? It gave me a lot of always had confidence, but gave me a lot of inner confidence to pursue things that I thought were in my gut that maybe were meant for me to do, okay? So that's how I became a financial advisor. And so I want to spend like the last 5 or 10 minutes how to find your first job after graduation. Anybody interested in that yet? Like, how many of you are seniors? Raise your hand up. Seniors, keep your hands up. I'm just curious. Okay. And then now our juniors. Okay, so a lot of juniors. Any sophomores? You guys are killing it at being in a group like this as sophomores. So kudos to you. Any other sophomores? Any freshmen? Okay, you're killing it even more. I mean, you get it, like to be in a society like this from the get-go. So good on both of you, okay? And so, again, I'll get personal. My cute little daughter grew up to be a fine young man, okay? So that's Callista, turned into Coda about a year ago, and one of the most self-motivated students I've seen here or elsewhere. Never had to worry about this kiddo. That's what I call Coda. He's my kiddo now. Just graduated from college. And, as I tell him, got through the pandemic years, got through, social anxiety. I had both of my kids work in my office. Coda would not pick up the phone. Callista at the time. I'll work for you if I don't have to talk to anybody. What was her line? My son Dominic, on the other hand, he's Christian, he's the other athlete, he's the basketball player. He's like, I don't need a call script, just give me a list of people to call, right? I'm doing it, right? So 2 kids, totally different personalities, both have graduated college. And so I also feel like, personally speaking, in my career, I'm a little bit beyond college professor, and I'm thinking about what my next stage will be. And building an educational financial education company is part of that, okay? And I want to continue supporting the students here. And as I tell students, after you graduate, take a break. It's okay. Like, we've had students go to Europe and spend time with family and do other things after they graduate. That's perfectly okay. I did that the summer after I graduated from the University of Illinois. That orange hat, that's also kind of obnoxious, but maybe not as bad as neon green. I'm not sure. The orange stands out more than green, okay? But it's okay because things seem to work out if you've got the right intentions. And I spent that summer after I graduated unemployed. It's the last time I've been unemployed, thank God. But I spent it going to Greece with my late father and my brother, okay? And I'm so glad to have had that time because my dad passed away a few years after that, okay? So, I may have been a little bit dismissive about family. Like people, they're not human beings are not risk takers. We're just not, okay? My parents, I was blessed, and hopefully you are too, but if not, I mean, that's reality too. I was blessed with wonderful parents, okay, that worked hard, wanted all their kids to get educated. And we've passed it down. I've heard it said that, our parents passed their hearts down to us, right? And so, and in my opinion, again, I think it's the most important commandment, right? Oh my God. That's okay. I didn't even notice. I said the most important commandment, and then the phone ring, right? So honor thy mother and thy father, right? They're probably, in most cases, a big reason why you're here, okay? It's also, and I'm not a preacher, I'm not a pastor, I'm not going to seminary, although I never say never, right? We never say never to opportunities, right? I have given guest talks at churches, and I want to do more of those, actually. But honor thy mother and thy father, and the Lord will allow your days to be long and fruitful. And I'm paraphrasing, right? But it's really important. I mean, nobody's got perfect parents. My parents weren't perfect, okay? Far from it. But they chose to give you life. I mean, that's like, I see like people have problems with their moms. I mean, your mother carried you around for 9 months and had you, right? Like your mom can do no wrong in my book. So that's the sermon part of me. But you know, my life experience is when you think different, when you set a goal for yourself, you decide to promote yourself, and you let people know what your goals are, and you continuously meet new people and you network, you will achieve your goals. So I think that's my time. I'll leave it on that. And I think that's my last slide. So as we wrap up today, finish your feedback forms. I'll read every one. I'm that professor that reads every feedback form, even the one like, oh, he talks about himself too much. So if you said that, guilty, I'm guilty. But hopefully my life lessons helped you as you approach your life here in college, because some of you have just started, right? And some of you are speeding into senioritis very quickly, right? And you'll want to do something that pays a little bit more, and I understand that. Okay, so it's been wonderful being with you. What questions do you have as we wrap up? Yes.
Do you have office hours that one can go?
I don't have office hours because I'm not a professor of this campus, but I welcome your questions, and I will respond to them promptly, and you can email me. So I've got two addresses, so use the Yahoo, not the Gmail. The Yahoo comes to my phone, and I'll answer your questions, whether it's career or personal finance. I'm happy to answer your questions. Okay? And my daughter Callista came up with that when I was like, I need a separate email for all these people asking me for advice. And she said, Money Man Helps. And I said, what? She's like, well, that's who you are and what you do. Right? Money Man Helps. I'd be glad to help you. So email me questions anytime. And connect with me on LinkedIn on either profile. There is a Money Man profile out there. Okay. Are we ready for a drawing?
I believe so, yeah.